Good morning, Hill City fam bam. How's my favorite spiritual family in the whole wide world? Are you guys doing okay today? Great. You're a boisterous crew. Want to welcome you to what we hope is a very, very, very welcoming place. So glad to see you here today, and love you guys. There's Miss Nicole. Nicole, that was a good exhortation at the end, man. Thank you so much. Hey, it's okay. Let me serve you here. Let me serve you. It's perfect. We're going to get you another coffee too, by the way. It's okay. This stuff happens. You just leave it right here. We're just going to let it soak in. And look at this. See, this is a great illustration. We're actually talking about the servant heart today, which is so interesting, how we got an opportunity to serve. This is great. So today I want to introduce you as we clean. You'll see why these two right here are the Gritties of the Year 2025, because not only did they make the coffee, but they also cleaned it up today. And this is Miss Sarah, who also, you probably won a couple of awards in your years here at Hill City, Sarah. I can't remember exactly which one. And yeah, cheers, she says. You can tell she's a mom. She always has napkins handy. It's great. And you guys, Trish and John, you guys mean the world to us. And you guys won the Gritties. If you guys don't know what the Gritties are, we served our team. Come on up here in the light over here, all right? See, they still want to stay in the shadows. That's a servant heart. It's pretty amazing. So this past week, we celebrate our team. We celebrate our team every year. We do an awards ceremony. We did an Italian dinner. Thank you, Rich and Renee, for your amazing cooking for our team. We had an accordion guy come in. The first accordion guy we called didn't drive across bridges. We thought that was funny. So there are more than one accordion guys in the local vicinity. We called the second one that Lojo was able to find, and he drives across bridges, so he came to us. Our friends at Christ Church at Grove Farm, you know we're friends with other churches. We had no place to host this. We have space constraints. We kind of need a home, and so we didn't have anywhere to host, and our friends at Christ Church at Grove Farm opened up their home so we could host there. And my good friend Craig Geargo, who's the pastor there. I bet you can't spell Craig Geargo. It's not Geagrgo. I can't spell it, but there's like two Y's in it. It's so confusing, like a silent Y, two silent Y's. I mean, I think, I don't know. Anyhow, we crowned Trish and John the Gritties of the Year, along with Adam and Laura. We did two couples this year, and these two are the Gritties of the Year. Now, these guys are amazing, servant-hearted people, and have a great testimony. They have so much inside of them. They started the coffee over here. Do we have a microphone for you guys? We got it. Oh, it's right here. Here we go. I probably grabbed the wrong one. Okay, so Trish, John, how are you guys? Good. Excellent. Who's going to be the lead talker today?
I guess I will.
It depends.
We'll share.
All right. That's good. So I just wanted to bring you guys up, not only to honor you guys and say thank you, but to give you an opportunity to also share about, why in the world would you serve? And you do the coffee, you guys helped us with discipleship and continue to help us with discipleship. Where did this all come from with you guys? How did you get here?
Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that one because that's kind of on me. When it comes to servant leadership, to me, it is just a love response to the love of Jesus, honestly. It's when I get a glimpse of what he did for me, and I look at my life 20 years ago to where I am today with this amazing wife and just an amazing family, an amazing church family, how can I not but serve the Lord? And so for me, it's when the Holy Spirit says, hey, I want you to do this, or I get that inward witness and feel I think the Lord's telling me to do something. Yes, my answer is always yes. I will give him my time, my talent, my treasure, whatever the Lord wants, he gets it. I look at what he's done, and I can't help but love him back. So that's my heart for serving. And for the coffee, same thing. One night I woke up, I'm like, I guess we're supposed to do coffee. I don't know why. Maybe people like the coffee, maybe they don't like the coffee. It really doesn't matter. It's what the Lord wants. And then you look back months later and you're like, oh my gosh, this has nothing to do with coffee. This has nothing to do with, it does have to do something with coffee, but, and we're not out to make a profit or make a lot of money on this. This is just about relationship. When you see the energy that goes on out there, and Rich and Trish and I are running around like we're on fire, trying to keep up with everybody, but it really is about relationship. There's so much energy, there's so much fun, there's so many people talking, there's so many people getting to know each other. that is kind of what this is all about.
Anything to add?
I don't think I have much to add to that. Yeah.
How's
It's just fun.
how serving changed your life, Trish?
Gosh, I think it humbles you a whole lot. You you feel like, well, how can I possibly serve? What can I give? What can I do? But it does, like John said, when you serve the Lord first, then it's so easy to serve others, and it's really a lot of fun. But I guess it really has humbled me.
Yeah.
I would say.
Draws you deeper into relationship, because I noticed about you in particular, well, actually, both of you are extremely relational people. Trish, you have such a way of disarming people through humor and making people feel welcome and comfortable and asking good questions. Like you're so great at that. So like deeper relationships, I'm thinking, I noticed that with you. Everybody gets to know you when you're serving them coffee, and I think that is an absolute blessing to everybody who gets to know you, you know?
It really is. I was saying to John on the car ride here that there's one thing, you want to do everything really well. Structured, organized, everything like that. But the most important thing is that relationship aspect. You want people to feel seen. You don't want people to just, fall in the back. So if there is one thing that I value most is just what you said. I just want people to see me genuine, sincere, and if the way I'm doing things is a little messy, that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
That will just come
Right.
along, and then you'll have other people that are better at the structured, organized thing.
Yeah, I think we have some perfectionists agreeing with you, and you're like, that is really helping me right now. Thank you so much, right? So
Right.
last question. You guys are also business owners as well. Like whatever you guys do, you own. How does that translate into serving mentality, ownership, and service of people? Like, what would you encourage everyone?
Well, I'll start with that, and I'll let you go. But yeah, having a business and having employees, you really do, like, obviously everything comes from God first, but you have to value those people that work for you. You have to see that our business would fall apart. We would have, Renee Kozowski runs our business. She's invaluable to us. It's really wonderful. But John and I definitely value our employees first. We want to bless them. We try our best to bless them financially as best we can, as God allows us to do it. You don't have money for everything. You wish you did, but it is that perspective of loving people, really from gaining access to God's love first. You understand we can't serve people empty. Yes. We can't. We have to be fulfilled, and we have to know our perspective when it comes to God.
That's fantastic.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would add too is, when you own a business, you try to operate with exceptionalism. You want everything you do to be to the best of your ability, and so I take that also into our serving. I'm serving the Lord. I love you all. We're serving you all, but honestly, we're serving the Lord, right? And so whatever we do, yeah, it can get messy sometimes, but we're absolutely trying to do it to the best of our ability, to the best of the talents that God has given us, and just do things to the Lord. And I think that translates from the business world.
Amen. So our service is an act of worship, and the goal of it is to value others and honor God. Like, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I was just
Yeah,
going to say,
go ahead.
serving does come from your heart, and it is with your intention.
Yeah.
And if you have that right perspective coming from God, then I think it goes really well. Otherwise, it's nothing. It's like void. You might as well throw it away.
Empty. Right. Amen. These guys are awesome, aren't they? Let's give them a thanks. Love you guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you, man. I'll take that for you. Anything else you want to add? You got any good jokes? Go ahead. Preach it.
Lord,
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say the two of you make it so easy to serve you. You really do. You really do. I feel so valued. I've served other, places and other churches, and usually I get really burnt out, and it's tough, and you don't feel valued. So thank you. You guys are easy.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know who I'm giving this to. I'm going to give this to Ben right here. I think Sarah's going to get it in a little bit too. So we got a hot mic today. Hot mic. Pass the hot mic. Hey, today we're going to continue talking about the Beatitudes, and I'm going to tie in that testimony. Like we have a mission, guys, at Hill City. You know that? Like we really have a mission, and I believe it that we're on the cusp of something great here. I feel it. You know when I feel it? When I walk into the bathroom and I see graffiti that little kids shouldn't be seeing, and we got to go, hey, can we get some paint over here? Can we fix this real quick? Can we put some duct tape over top of this? Because there's going to be kids in here. You know when I feel it? When all you saw the commotion that was going on over here, we thought there was like a spark going on, but it was really just glitter from a play, you know? I feel it. I'm like, we're on the cusp of something great here, you know? You know when I feel it? When we find out that we're not gonna have a place to do church services because the play is gonna be taking like 3 weeks in both December and Christmas leading up to like no, it's 2 weeks. Okay, Lauren's correcting me. She's like, don't cause fear in people. But this is our World Series, ladies and gentlemen, and we can't have home turf advantage, but we always have a great plan going into it. I just forget what that plan is right now. I probably should have been able to let you know. I just can't remember what that plan is. For the life of me, I can't remember it. Like I really can't, but that's okay. All is good because God's got us. And when I feel that, I want to encourage the church family. November 23rd, we're going to be having a panel here at Hill City, and we're going to be talking about what we believe God has called us to in this next season. This is not for a one-time end-of-year offering. Okay, but if you want to, you can write it. I'm just kidding. This is for the purpose of leadership. This is a purpose of awakening passion in you. This is for the purpose of understanding that you and I are called to something greater. And we don't just gather to come to church, hear a great message, and then just go home and be encouraged for a day or two, and then we get stuck in traffic and we start screaming at people, right? That's not what God has called us to. He's called us to something greater. And that something greater happens when we start to rub elbows with people and we start to work together and move toward a goal together. God has a plan for you. God has a mission. We say our mission here at Hill City is pointing people to Jesus in purpose. And we're doing so by awakening our city to the goodness of God. I want you every time you come in this place to know that God is good. He's for you. He hasn't turned his back away from you. He loves you right where you are. There was a gentleman who came here a couple weeks ago. And whenever he was younger, he had renounced Jesus. That young man gave his life to Jesus, and in our first-time guest line, a woman who was also a first-time guest line looked at him and encouraged him and spoke the goodness of God. We got a great thing going on here, guys. When I was at the Gritties, I looked around and I'm like, I'm blessed to have this family around my table. Really am. Like, I love you guys with all my heart. I love you. I'm also gonna tell you we got a mission to do together. See, our family, my family, we are landing the plane on a mission that has been a 2.5-year mission trip in our home. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, man. The Lord led us in a way that doesn't make sense. But it's like the walls of Jericho. If you want a wall to come down, you don't run around it 7 times, shout as loud as you can, and then the wall falls. Unless God told you to, and then it works, right? So we started to realize that our family had a mission, and we pursued that mission for years. When Lauren had a miscarriage, and then she was pregnant with Judah, shortly after, we knew that we were called to love other people's children as our own. And we didn't know what that felt. We felt it was adoption and all of that, and we started going down the road. And it was like door after door closed. And then season after season changed. And it's like, okay, we don't introduce our family to this mission until it's the right time, because if we introduce the family to this mission at the wrong time, then we're gonna just kind of ruin everything we got going on. We won't be able to handle it. So 2.5 years ago, we got a call, and we have 2 amazing foster girls who've been with us now 2.5 years. They were only supposed to be with us 2 weeks. We said, this sounds like a good opportunity to get our feet wet in foster care. Little did we know they would become our children, but not in a sense that you all might imagine. They couldn't talk. They couldn't even tell us their name, and they were 4 and 3 years old. What we endured over the last 2.5 years has been nothing short of very, very, very difficult. but we knew God called us to it. And when God calls us to something greater, he always equips us to endure. He always equips us to endure. And so, as we got into the process, I didn't realize that God was tapping on my heart to love other people's children as my own, so that my eyes could be opened to what really goes on in the world around me. I started to see a system that is absolutely broken. I started to fight and push back on that system because it felt at times as if we were the only ones who wanted our little girls to be safe. It seemed as if the system wanted the girls to be stuck in limbo so their emotional health would rapidly deteriorate and so that they could essentially prosper. This righteous indignation came inside of me, and I couldn't help but to spill it out every once in a while when I was at church, because something would remind me of it, and I'd be like, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna break this system down. They are trying to fight my wife right now, and it's like, it was this system, guys, you understand the foster system is mass chaos. I want you to know something. I will never recruit you to be a foster parent. I came into the process saying, I want to be a foster parent and inspire others to be foster parents. I want to now never be a foster parent again, and I want to change the whole system. Like that's where I am on the other side of it, okay? And so, easier said than done, come on. You should come over to my house once a month whenever they show up randomly, you know what I mean? They're like, low joke, let's go over here again, you know? When you tell state workers you're gonna call the police, it gets a little bit cray-cray. You know, I'm gonna call the police on you. You can't just show up at my house. Like, I can show up anytime I want, but not on my anniversary. It's like, well, I'm going to dinner with my wife tonight. It's crazy, guys, it's absolutely crazy. But as a family, we heard the voice of God. As a family, we pressed in when it was hard and difficult. As a family, we endured hours in the middle of the night getting screamed at by kids who couldn't even tell you their names. We endured. Along the way, my heart started to get a little jaded toward the system and a little bit open to the people we were called to serve, as much as they hated us or said they did. And as I went through, I can't give you all the details, but as we went through, I realized the system is completely broken. I need to flip-flop everything. What I need to do is not have these mediators in between me and the parents. I need to go to them directly. I'm gonna say, excuse me, state, I respect you and I respect your laws. However, I will not oblige to everything that you tell me to do because you don't have it written down that I actually need to. Those types of rules, I do not follow. The rules that are written down and in law, I will follow those to a T. I'll be a really good boy. But I'm gonna go straight to mom and dad and I'm gonna cut this thing. You know, as Christians, you and I, we're called to serve. We're called to serve people who look at us and have assumptions. We're called to serve people who might be a little bit scary to serve. But we are called to be peacemakers in a world of chaos. You and I are called to be peacemakers. And the only way, I want you to remember this, the only way you and I will walk in God's peace and establish God's peace until he comes back is by serving others. We completely flip-flopped the story. And now we're all aligned. The judge made a decision that the girls are beginning a process of reunification. To this point, that hasn't happened. They will likely be with us another couple months. But I know they'll be safe. I now know they will be safe. I now know that the Lord's hand is on their lives. And I now know that we'll be a part of their lives forever because we did what God told us to do. We served. We turned the system upside down. See, your family doesn't need an organizational chart. Did you know that? Here at Hill City, we don't operate that way. We love you. I don't want to be your quote unquote boss. I want to be your friend. And for years in ministry, I felt so out of place for having that desire. Because in the church growth movement growing up, it was all about how to be the best leader. These are the 5 things you need to do to lead. This is the 5 attributes of a leader. And I look at those attributes, I'm like, I don't have any of them. I don't have what it takes. But what I do have is love. What I do have inside of me is genuine care for people, is the desire to know people's names. Met my buddy Evan right outside today. He's gonna be a pilot. He is a pilot. I love hearing names and stories. And we say at Hill City that a name and a story is a win. On our wall at Hill City, that what we celebrate is not how many people came to church. We celebrate the names and stories of lives that have been changed. We look at things maybe just a little bit different than what you might be used to, but for the purpose of being peacemakers. Ben had a great message last week, and in it, he challenged us in a couple of ways. I want to challenge us similarly when it comes to peace. Jesus said this in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Just look at this as a high level. The word blessed. Let's look at this word blessed real quick. Rick Renner says this. He says the words supremely blessed, happy, and to be envied are interpreted from a form of makarios, which literally means supremely, ridiculously, or hilariously blessed. Think of the people that Jesus is speaking to at the Sermon on the Mount. They're not the people who are the high up in society. They're not the people who have everything together. He's coming for those who are hurting, lost, and broken. He has societal rejects around his proverbial sermon table, if you will, at the Sermon on the Mount, and he's telling them that you will be supremely blessed, happy, and to be envied. Nobody envied the people listening to this message, I'll tell you that. So it's derived from a Greek word that speaks of enlargement, thus describing this person as one who ends up larger, okay? I'm a little larger after all the Halloween candy I got this week. It was fantastic. 100 grand bars, they're my favorite. Please don't buy me any, okay? I had a little bit of a hard time plugging any 100 grand bars into my calorie counting app. Yes, I do that, okay? I didn't have the courage to do it, so I didn't. My calorie counting app thinks that I've lost 3 pounds over the last month, but I haven't. I've gained 6, and it's because of the Halloween candy. So I'm enlarging right now. And this is the term blessing. This is the term blessing. Like when God's blessing comes on you and me, our life gets larger. It gets better. It gets bigger in a more meaningful way. We might want to define that, but everything you do gets better when the hand of God is on you. See, this blessing is a state of being, and it always results in doing something united with God. Like, right, so does your life get larger? Does God add to you so that you could just accumulate? You don't have a U-Haul going to heaven with you. We can't take stuff with us. That's not what it's all about. Oh, I'll pass everything off to my family. Who's saying that they're gonna be good stewards with everything? The reason that God blesses us is so we could be a blessing to others. And this term blessing, it means you become bigger, you become happy. God actually wants you to live a happy and fulfilled life. But listen, happiness is not circumstantial. The blessing of God is not circumstantial for you. Oh, because you went through a hard time, that means you're not blessed. No way. You can be blessed in the midst of difficulty. Therefore, yeah, I could be unhappy when bad circumstances come my way, but I can see the blessing of God in every situation. You know, you and I are gonna find what we're looking for, friends. We're gonna find what we're looking for. If we wanna see the blessing of God in the midst of grief, we're gonna find it. Every single season of our life, we can find it. You'll find what you're looking for. You and I, we can find the blessing of God on our life. It's a part of who we are. It is who God has called us to be. And God doesn't bless you so you can keep it. God blesses you and me so we can live life open-handed. I'll tell you right now, it's not a gift until it hurts. It hurt over the last 2.5 years. Oh, it hurt bad, but we gave everything we could. We did everything we possibly could, and we know that we did what we were called to do, and we know that the Lord's hand is on this next season. And I can't tell you guys, today, I'm listening to Maverick City, and Kirk Franklin on the way to dropping these sweet little girls off to be with their father, which is an absolute blessing. See, the court system will tell you he's a felon. You can't trust him. And I found, I built a personal relationship with him. I actually really like him. I think he and I are becoming friends. This could be the dumbest thing I've ever done or the smartest thing I've ever done. God, what do I do? They're like, oh, you can't trust him. You can't trust him. You know what I found? I trust him 10 times more than I trust people in the state. I'm just telling you that. Lauren just went, emphasis. That was my exclamation point right here, right? You know why? Because he looked at his daughter and he said, I'm so sorry I haven't been in your life. And he looked at me and he said, you took care of my daughter when I couldn't, and I'll never forget that. And the things I got fired up about, he got fired up about too, and we're rubbing shoulders. We're like, we're gonna beat somebody, come on. We're gonna get somebody today, come on, we're gonna get him. He's like, oh, I gotta walk away. I'm getting all fired up right now. I gotta walk away. He can't get himself into trouble. I can, you know? So come on, Doug, I'm gonna get it. We feel it together. And you know, you don't know who to trust because sometimes people will tell you who you can trust and who you can't trust. But I'll tell you what, when God leads you, follow it. When God tells you to do something, follow it. And I'm gonna tell you from that perspective, we created peace. What does it mean to be a peacemaker? You and I, we are called to bring peace. Peace first requires peace. What do I mean by that? Look at this. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Peace first requires peace. You and I cannot give if we don't have it inside of us to give. Can't pour out of an empty cup. Your kids come to you, you're like, Mom, Dad, I want to go to Disney. Well, I'm sure you could just charge it and pay later, right? You're like, we don't have that in the tank right now, friends. I can't give you what I don't have to give, but what I can give you is this, right? Peace requires peace. You got to have peace in you in order to give peace. There's a couple avenues of peace with God and peace with man that you and I need. We need to have peace with ourselves, peace with others, and peace with God. Okay? Peace with ourselves, peace with others, and peace with God. All of us start at the needing of peace. We're at war with ourselves, right? Paul talked about this. He's like, I know the right thing to do, but I can't do the right thing. And I go back and forth, and I know the right thing to do, but I just can't do it. I know that I've been set free from the law of sin and death, and sin shall no longer have dominion over me, but yet I do the wrong thing. He's like kind of at war with himself. Every time, like you could have came here today for the first time and you're like, I did so much this past week. I cannot believe I fell into these things. And shame starts to envelop you. And the Apostle John wrote that if your own heart condemns you, God's greater than your heart. Okay? So take heart. It's not God condemning you. It's actually your own heart that's condemning you. It's your own heart that tells you you don't deserve to be in worship. Look at these people raising their hands. They know who God is. They don't know, you don't know who God is. You're just a faker. You're just a pretender. Imposter syndrome comes on when it comes to worship. Like, look at all these people who shake their hands. They're like, I gotta just put my smile on. I just gotta push through this. Just gotta pretend. Maybe I'll just show God how much I love him, and then he accepts me and everything's okay. Maybe it's gonna be okay, right? Well, no, it's not how. What'd I do? Everything okay? Oh, a giant bug. What is up with it? See, we're on to a new season, friends. I am done with these bugs. There will be bug traps everywhere when we get permanency. Everywhere, no more flies. I think about that. Last week I was exhorting up here and there's a fly around. I'm like, somebody's gonna say I'm demonized. Maurice, woo! You stomp on that devil, baby, wherever that thing is. Oh man, demonic distraction. Maurice stands up and stomps on it. I just see everybody's eyes go like this. I'm like, is there something behind me, right? You and I, no, it's good. It's good. You got something in you. You're like, I can't draw near to God because you need peace. You need peace. You can't draw, every relationship around you, peace with others, right? Every relationship around you, man, I'll tell you what, that person, drama, everybody goes, drama. No, that is not what we're called to be, not who we're called to be. We're called to be peacemakers. You could change that. Some people don't just, here's a practical way Lauren taught me. You can walk into a room, you can say, how are you today? And then not complain to anybody when somebody asks you that. Don't complain. Don't complain. It's weather. Sometimes that's all we know how to do is complain to relate with people, right? This is just stop it. Just quit that. Just quit. Just relate off of something good. Just start there, okay? Don't talk about people behind their back. Pretend like you just butt dialed the person you're about to talk about. And I promise you'll be like, you just look at your phone. I'm gonna put it in your head. It's gonna happen. You put it in your phone. Okay, I didn't call them. If you ever have that, don't even say what's gonna come out of your mouth. Don't even do it, okay? Peace with yourself, peace with others, but you and I need peace with God. And I wanna show you scripture, one of my favorites in Colossians chapter 1, 19 and 20. For in him all the fullness of God was pleased to dwell, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether in earth or in heaven, making peace by the blood of his cross. See, this is the only other place in the New Testament this term peacemakers in Matthew that we read about is actually used. Making peace. Who's the original peacemaker? Well, scholars look at this and they're like, we don't know if this is God or if this is Jesus making peace. And they argue over that. And you can get caught up in that argument all you want. Or you could say, well, Jesus is God, okay? And God, yes, established peace by the blood of his cross. And Jesus, yes, established peace. It's both and. He made peace by the blood of his cross. I'm going to tell you that God is not angry with you anymore. We served a woman who we had found out had multiple abortions. And the shame that was in her heart. See, a negative doesn't cancel out another negative. This woman carried so much shame in her heart. She didn't think that she could receive from God. She kind of put on a mask. When we see someone so broken on the inside, we tell them, God is not angry at you anymore. He's not angry. See this? He made peace by the blood of his cross. See, you and I, we all made horrible mistakes in our lives. Every one of us. And all of us have a list of things that we've done that we can look back on and we can say, God has to be angry at me for this. I remember the day when I was like, there has to be more to life than this. There's no way God could accept me based on of everything I've done. And this giant list came up. But I found I could have peace with God through Jesus. See, that cross was a bridge over the canyon of guilt and shame to another mountain called peace. The blood of Jesus is enough. If you had to do anything, you look at the scripture, you're like, man, blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called sons of God. So if I make peace in every room I walk into, then God will accept me. You could look at it that way. That's not what the New Testament's saying. The Apostle Paul wrote that we're all sons of God through faith in Jesus Christ. You and I are actually adopted into the family of God when we put our faith in Jesus Christ. That scripture does not say that we're all sons of God if we. That's not what Jesus is saying here. What is he saying? He's saying it's a result of being a son of God. It's a result of identity that you and I walk in peace and we promote peace in others. Peace requires peace. You and I can't give what we don't have. You and I want to be peacemakers. So we need to have peace with God. Then from that peace with God, we can have peace with ourselves and peace with others. Peace requires proximity. You got to have peace and you got to have proximity. I'm going to tell you this. Proximity brings passion, but distance creates distortion. How in the world do you and I break down the walls of distance? Well, we found out over this last week that you serve. I'm going to tell you, my life goal, I have many, but it's to become more like Jesus. What did Jesus do? See, this peace requires proximity. Jesus knew when he died on that cross, he knew. When he was born, when he decided, if you go into Philippians chapter 2 and start to talk about and start to look at, hey, why did he come? He came to serve. He laid aside all of his privileges and his rights, and he became a man like you and me. He became the servant of all. My buddy Nate shared this with me a long time ago. We say it all the time, that the greatest of all is a servant of all. You and I are called to be more like Jesus. Love is the great distance eliminator. See, some of you might be, not actually, some of you might be just a little bit annoyed with your spouse at the current moment, right? And what I found after being a horrible marriage counselor is that telling people, do you love him? Yeah. Do you love her? Yeah. Then quit being an idiot isn't enough, okay? We actually need a little bit better advice than that. It's a true story. What takes place is that love is still there, but you've grown distant. You walk in two separate lives. And love, that great distance eliminator, needs to bridge the gap so you can come back together again. How do you do that? You fill your mind with the things you love about your spouse, not the things you hate about your spouse. I'll tell you, Lauren probably has a pretty big list going on, like of things that I could do better, because women, you come up with lists. I'm just saying, I'm not doing all or nothing. Men are this way, women are this way. I'm not doing that, but women, you always have lists. It's wonderful. Wonderful lists. Just aim it in the right direction and it's wonderful. I'm just kidding. But here's the thing. You might have a list of things. I'll tell you what, you don't do this right. They don't do this right. You're going down, I can't stand how he drives. I can't stand how she drives. She nicked that curb again. She nicked that curb. I cannot believe she nicked that curb. Look at this thing over here. These are not real life examples in my marriage. We are doing just fine. She said, yeah, no, they're not. I love you, baby. But when you start to fill your mind with those things, you start to let the distance separate you. But what brings it back? Remembering who you married. Remembering this amazing person that God has put right in front of you. The grass is never greener on the other side, friends. The grass is greener where you water it. So water it. How do you do it? Remember, peace requires proximity. My home's chaos. You got to get closer to each other. You know what? Here's the thing. We never fight. That's not healthy either. You got to work it out. How do you fight appropriately? You got to remember who you married. Peace requires proximity. Last thing, peace requires payment. In a moment, I'm gonna actually, Sarah, can you come on up? It says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. This is a reflection of identity. Tell you what, when we passed off today, Kirk Franklin, I didn't finish that story. Kirk Franklin's blasting, bless me, God, not just for me, but so everything around me, of everything we need, whatever. Let all these folks that's with me, God, have everything they need, right? So I'll say, we'll sing, I'll be Kirk Franklin. I make the girls be in the back and they're like, we got everything we need. Persecuted, not abandoned. We got everything we need. And one goes, we got everything we need. Because she doesn't have really good pitch, so that's funny. It's a side joke, right? But I'm telling you what, I hear these little girls singing this song, and I'm like, you got everything you need. And they're praying this prayer, and we pull up, and we're blasting it. We were early. I didn't know Mom and Dad were going to walk into the car. What are they listening to? They're listening to Kirk Franklin. And they're like, what is this? It was so fun. They got a little bit of the gospel this morning. It's so fun. And they see, this is what the children of God do. So today, I'm gonna be very direct with you. Ask my friend Sarah to come up. You and I are called. We got a mission to complete. We are called to serve. You and I are called to serve. This could sound extremely transactional, but there are transactions in every relationship. We want you to serve here, and we want you to serve outside of here, and we want you to serve in your family, okay? There's transactions in every relationship, but I hope you heard from Trish directly. We actually value you more than what you ever do for us. You're never gonna gain more acceptance and love from us if you serve or less. We want you to serve for you. And Sarah had a brilliant illustration. I'm going to ask her to close our sermon today with this, and Pastor Ben's going to come up.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Is it okay if I push you a little bit? Okay. I'm going to do a baseball analogy because I stayed up late last night watching the World Series with my husband. And anyone else stay up late watching? It was game 7. So if you're going to watch baseball, any game, I would encourage you to watch the Pirates. But if you want to watch some really good baseball, you're going to watch game 7, the World Series. So last night we stayed up and Chuck was really pushing me. He's like, Sarah, this is history. You have to stay awake. And I'm like dozing. So I ate a whole candy bar. I was like, I'll do anything. I'm going to stay awake for this game. So there are some amazing players, like the best of the best of the best play. And I'm going to butcher this name. Noah, you're going to just bear with me, okay? Okay. You guys, I'm sure have heard of him. Shohei Ohtani. He is the best. He is the best pitcher, and he also comes to the plate and hits home runs. That's unheard of. So in Major League Baseball, usually you are one or the other. You're not both. He's both. That is unheard of. We are literally watching somebody do something nobody else has ever done to that level. It's really, really cool. He carries that team. There's no question. He's the MVP. He carries that team every single week. In fact, last series, he had a game where he hit 3 home runs. That's unheard of. And he pitched the game and struck out a ton of people. And they won the game. Thank you, Noah, 10 people. He's the best of the best. He's the best to ever play. But he cannot play every position. He cannot pitch every game, even though it'd be awesome. He can't do all of those things. The team has to come around him. So last night, he was also pitching this game as well, but other people had to come in and pitch because the game went really long, okay? So I'm gonna also, Noah, stay with me for this name, okay? Not a linguist up here, okay? So there is a gentleman who was on the Dodgers, and their team is down by 1 run. And it's the 9th inning. So this is what you dream of when you're a little kid. This is what you're dreaming of, this moment, okay? This gentleman has not played well, okay? The coach, in fact, was iffy on even playing him. In fact, I was kind of chuckling about that when they said that on there. I was like, oh, they said that, that he wasn't playing so well. But the coach had a gut feeling about this guy and really wanted to play him. Miguel Rojas, okay? So he's an unassuming person. This is like what movies are made out of. So he gets up to bat and he hits a game-tying home run that saved the entire season for the Dodgers, who end up going on to win, okay? He's an unassuming character, but the coach had a gut feeling about this guy. So I want to relate this to us here. We have an Ohtani here, and that's Miss Lauren Blair. She is the best of the best in all the areas. We have an Ellie Del Turco, who's an Ohtani. She's the best in the best in every area she serves in. Lauren is in the back, hugging kids, wiping noses, and serving our littlest kids. And then she gets up here and she can preach. And that's a real gift. But she can't do that unless other people are helping in other areas. She's the Ohtani, but Ohtani can't be up here every week. Ohtani can't be in the back every week. That's where we come in. We're the Rojas, okay? We're on the bench and maybe things haven't, gone so well, but the coach sees something in you. I have a gut feeling of why you're here today. There's something in you where you can go to the next level. You can serve. There's something in you, each of us, in order for Ohtani to be their best. And Pastor Zack said something awesome that I didn't know. That Ohtani, when he's on the bench, he gets a sip of water. He fills cups for other people and puts them on top of the Gatorade container so that other people can have water. Do you think that he's above giving water to other people? That's a servant's heart. That's your leader. That's who I follow. I follow people right in this front row who lead by serving. I follow people like Ellie and Zack Del Turco who lead by serving. They're not above filling the water, and they're not above being a star on the show because they deserve to be up there. But guess what? All of us are a part of it. How can we get to the next level? How can we get to the next part of this church? Man, we'd like a building. You know what would help? Is if everybody got on board and did their part so we could free them up to find a building. I'm just saying. So what I need you to do is get motivated and excited. Oh man, I'm just not good at these things. There's something in each of you that you can offer. You can fill the water. You can hug a baby. You can help in the back. You can be security. There's something in each of you. Get off the bench. Come play. Everyone, guess what? Everybody on the bench still gets a World Series ring, okay? Fair or not fair, they still get a World Series ring, but it's time to get off the bench, get your name on ESPN, and let's go.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, nice job, Sarah. Good job.
All right, it's 11:17. It's bottom of the ninth. We might go into extra innings, but it'll be all right. Here's what we're going to do. Y'all know that we like to get into discussion at the end of our services and as kind of a point of application, right? What am I going to do with this message? And so we're going to do that again today, but we're going to do it a little bit differently, maybe a little more structure than we normally do. So what we have is all of our different volunteer serve team leaders. They're all in the house. Would all my leaders just stand up, hold your signs up? Looky there. They got all these fancy signs. Are they on two sides? Are they printed on both sides? Okay, good. I was like, that's gonna be weird if you can't see both sides. So we've got all our team leaders around here, and I feel like the application point for this message is super, super clear. And it's maybe God's tapping you on the shoulder that like, it's time to just get off the bench and just jump in somewhere. And so we have a slide that isn't up, but will be up, that has all of our different serve teams up there. So we've got youth ministry, that's our students, 6th to 12th grade. Man, if you just feel called to teenagers, get back there with Zack Del Turco. He's back there in the back. You're gonna wanna hook up with him. Kids ministry, listen, the reason we can all be in this space is because there's a whole bunch of selfless people back in a different space, taking care of young kids, nursery, to up to 5th grade. A lot of our teenagers even go back there and serve on some sort of a regular basis. And so that can feel really intimidating. I understand that. But man, I was like, this morning I got to hold a baby for an hour while one of our worship team members was practicing. And I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. But I did it. Kids don't bite, they're awesome. And honestly, like, listen, it's the next generation. Hey, listen to me. These kids got next. Like when our watch is over, they got next. So what we pour into them now matters more than ever you can imagine. And it can look like playing games with them in the gym, or it can be teaching a lesson. It can be holding a baby in a nursery. It can be just divvying out bags of goldfish crackers. Thank you for the goldfish crackers. I had some for breakfast. So kids ministry, I'm sure Angie Robinson is around. Is Angie or Sarah doing kids? Sarah and Angie, you'll see them. We're gonna hold these signs up, it's great. Safety team, they're out in the lobby keeping us safe. It's kind of the security function here. We have a social media and creative team that's around. There's my safety team over there. I didn't see you sneak up on me, Chris. Social media and creative team, there they are. Lojo's holding that one up. Man, if you get like our newsletter or our text, you see our Instagram post, that stuff doesn't happen accidentally. There's many, many hours to go into that, and that team would love to train you how to be involved in that. So if you're like good at social media, which I'm not, that's for you. Get it with those folks. Our worship team and production, I'm gonna lump them together, worship and production. I don't know what time y'all get here to church, but they get here about 7 o'clock to make this worship experience happen. And then between that and then midweek rehearsals, getting prepared to do this thing in excellence in a way that honors God and will help to usher you into the presence of God. Like it matters. You might be like, I don't have any musical ability. Do you have 10 fingers? You can click a button on the computer and make the slides come up with the lyrics. How many of you thankful for the lyrics on the screen? Otherwise, I'd be like, just mumbling. I wouldn't know any of the words to it. So that's worship and production. I think Ellie's going to be in the back. Yeah, no, on the stage. I'm sorry. If you've always wanted to be on stage, this is your chance coming up real soon. Worship and production, culture and connections. Where's Jess Thompson at? She's right up here. Hey, that is everything that happens in the lobby. And it's more than just coffee and welcoming first-time visitors. It's the intangible. It's the invisible. It's what makes this place feel like a house of love that is warm and welcoming, that helps to break down people's guards the second they walk in. If you can put a smile on your face, Jess would love to spend some time with you here in a few minutes. And then last but not least, set up and tear down. We don't own this building, and they don't set it up for us. So the pipe and drape, the signs, the flags, the kids' environments, all the production stuff, we do that every week. We get here at 7 o'clock, and a team of us hauls a trailer of things up from the back of the parking lot. And so it's awesome. We're looking to grow all these teams. And I know that at the risk of this feeling like a timeshare, like sales pitch is getting pretty real at this point. Some of you are nervous. I would just encourage you,
The reason why we're trying to grow all of our teams is kind of like two or threefold. One, we encourage everybody to get into discipleship because we think you need relationship. And so a huge dynamic of our serve teams is relationship. You can meet your new best friend serving with them on a Sunday morning, get to know somebody. So we think that's really, really important. Two, everything Zack said about serving, man, it just matters so much. It matters so much. There's no insignificant roles. And three, we like to honor and respect the people who do serve. And so part of the way we do that is we don't want you to serve every week. I'll say it again, like we don't want or expect you to serve every week. We'd love it if we had everybody serving, everybody would just have to serve like once a month. Fill up all our team slots, it would be incredible. And so that's our heart for you. We want you to be able to come and enjoy church, but we also want you to be a part of being the church. And I think the big win for us as a family between now and whatever the next step that God has for us is if we could get a little bit of the us and them mentality out and it's just we. You know, I get to talk to a lot of you folks and it'll be like, wow, when did you guys decide to do this? And I'm like, no, we're a family. We're doing this together. If we're not doing it together, we're not doing it at all. It's like Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody got to bring something, right? Or else dinner doesn't happen. So we're going to spend our discussion time in this way.